So customers need a proven provider that can understand where they're at today from a legacy perspective and get them to that end state, the nirvana. And the journey is often the most difficult part.
Hello and welcome to the interview series taking place today at the ATx Singapore. And with me, I have Andrew Bennett, who is the regional CTO for BT International. Okay, he spearheads transformative IT initiatives for some of BT's most prominent clients across the UK, Europe and Asia. Welcome, Andrew. Great to have you today.
Welcome. Thank you very much for the invitation to be here today.
Awesome. Okay, so let's dive right in. Let's start off talking about some of the challenges that we see organizations face when trying to modernize legacy connectivity infrastructure.
Yeah, sure. Well, I guess the key thing for me really comes down to complexity. I'm lucky enough to work with some of the most amazing customers and enterprises across the planet, trying to solve their kind of very complex initiatives. So very much from a day zero perspective all the way through. And the thing that really comes to mind with the customers that we deal with where BT excels at, it's that complexity, whether it be across security, connectivity, cloud, on-ramp, sovereignty. A lot of these challenges, all of our customers are seeing, and IT just isn't getting simpler. IT and networking is getting more and more complex. Some parts are getting simpler, but some parts, if you look at the holistic end-to-end view of it, of connecting users securely to applications wherever they are, that is getting more and more complex. And what we're seeing is that customers need help from service providers and telcos that can do that at a global scale. So we're not talking just a domestic level of doing it in a country or two countries, but doing it at a similar look and feel across all of those things at a global scale. And that's where BT and the work that I do and get involved in is very rewarding, and pleased to see we do a really good job of doing that.
And I guess, when we talk about legacy connectivity services, it's just one or two services bundled together. But right now, the bundle has grown to engage so many other add-on services. And they're going to come back and ask you guys, can you go cloud native? Can you support us with A, B, C, and D, E, and F? And I guess, that's where the challenges come from.
It is very much. Look at it like this, that, you want to connect from a device somewhere, whether it be at home or a coffee shop or an office, to some applications that could be in a data center, a co-location, in the cloud. You're probably using between 20 to 30 different SaaS applications. Use 5 just to get here this morning. So there are 20 to 30 different SaaS applications. That complexity of multi-cloud connectivity, it's a very complex thing to understand where your packets go. If I picked out most network engineers here and asked me to do a trace of where and how your business is working, they would struggle and scratch their heads, but some parts of it are easy. The general complexity is more and more. So customers need a proven provider that can understand where they're at today from a legacy perspective and get them to that end state, the nirvana. And the journey is often the most difficult part.
Yes. And we have not even started talking about shadow IT, where we see a lot of employees now trying to use applications that are not even authorized. And you need to keep an eye on that as well to make sure that how the bandwidth is being used.
It is indeed. I mean, shadow IT is something we've had for years and years, where people have tried to circumnavigate policy and regulation successfully and sometimes successfully, and that's worked out really well. What we're seeing now is the advent of shadow AI. Which is
shadow AI.
Shadow AI. You heard it here the first time.
Everyone's putting the information to ChatGPT.
Exactly. So whether you're using AI in the office or using it at work, if you're not getting the facility to do that, you'll be using your phone or your secret laptop you've got hidden away somewhere, or going home and uploading documents to ChatGPT and then letting it out into the world. It's a very...
You're telling it, keep it confidential.
It is that. It's a very dangerous space to be in at the moment. And we're just seeing more and more of that happen today. So, as I said on a panel just earlier, we are very much in the, I call it AI pioneering phase. So we're very much steaming down a road and spending all our money on GPUs and NVIDIA and all the greatness. But then getting lost in why we're going there, what the end state looks like, and then some of the other aspects of things that are important to understand, like latency and connectivity and network and just rather than just compute, and how those things fit into that whole kind of picture. So customers have got a real challenge in terms of dealing with all this. And like I said, it's getting faster and faster and faster.
And I guess, when you serve so many types of different enterprises, they have different domains that they work in, right? And therefore, their connectivity needs sometimes become very unique. One enterprise differs from the other. And some may go for like, I just need as much bandwidth you can give me. And others go for latency. And they say like, we have got a number of latency use cases, like really, really ultra low latency use cases. And then you have to figure it out how to get these guys, the SLAs across such different diverse customers.
It is. I mean, look at it like this. BT is over 100 years old, right? We have products that are somewhat 80 to 90 years old. Never mind products that have just been launched this week.
80 to 90 years old.
We have products from 2G all the way to 5G. There's every myriad of different products. And I can tell you now, nearly all of those are customized for unique cases for certain customers, whether it be defense or healthcare or banking. They've all got a slight twist or a nuance on how they want those products to work. So one of the key things is that, having a depth of the portfolio that suits lots of the needs, but also a portfolio that can meet those needs and grow for the future for those needs that customers have got.
Oh, exciting. And I think, earlier we talked about AI, and shadow AI, you brought it in. Shadow AI, okay. But, at the same time, AI is a go-to right now for us to improve how we manage our networks, our customer experiences and all that. So how does, in the era of AI, and although we are, like what you said, at the pioneering stage of AI, I'm sure that you're already seeing some value being created for customers by leveraging AI and bringing the latest in connectivity together. So what are the new things, or what are the benefits that you see that you guys can start delivering to customers?
I think there's two areas that we look at AI in, certainly from a telco network perspective, and I put it into two really simple buckets. There's networking for AI, and AI for networking. Okay, and I thought I coined this phrase, but I've just seen someone else use it, so that's great.
Yes,
but the phrase is that
it's a legit phrase, and it really speaks the truth.
It really gets you to think about it in two ways. When people talk about AI, it's a very broad brush of everything, but we're boiling it down. From us, it's two camps. We want to build our network and our product offerings to be AI enabled to give the best value and services for us internally. So in terms of cost optimization, quicker, cheaper, faster, better, that's all kind of the table stakes. But be able to actually offer extra facilities and better portfolio products that are AI enabled with our network. So we say our network is AI ready. We mean that in two different counts. So networking for AI is all about building the right portfolio of products. So we can do first-time fault resolution. We can do automated fault fixes. We can give insight into our customers about how they should capacity their network or scale their network or add resiliency. These are all key benefits that really come out of that, and that's available today. And we're bringing more and more of those to market as we develop our portfolio. The flip side of that, the other bucket is AI for network for networks. And what we mean by that is everything we talked about around latency, the right connectivity to the right places, connecting up GPU farms where they need to be, all the various elements that need to be there as the foundations for customers' AI applications to work as they need to work, whether it be latent enough, whether it have enough bandwidth, like you said, whether it be scalable. A key thing that we see with customers is they'll be putting workloads in one multi-cloud or one hyperscaler or one co-location for some time, experimenting, failing fast, getting great results. And then things like sovereignty will then take place where, hey, we now need to bring that workload back in-house. We can't do the things we looked at doing maybe in the experimentation phase. We need to productize it, make it secure. That involves a different type of environment. So that transit between those different environments is also really, really key to have in an agility kind of as a service model. So again, the kind of some of the key aspects that we're sort of seeing. So two camps, two different challenges in both those camps. But, I think most organizations, us especially, seeing great benefits in, AI for networks and then the networking for AI. We just can't do it fast enough in terms of being able to kind of bring on the circuits and connectivity that our customers are demanding in this steamrolling head
Yes.
to nirvana.
Yeah, we can see the kind of demand in across various sectors, various verticals, and therefore we're not surprised that enterprises would need that ability to handle both the AI workloads and also, like what you said, networks for AI and AI for networks.
Yep.
You now use AI to optimize, to increase, to augment network capabilities to basically cater for the increasing AI workload. So it's like it comes a full circle.
It is a funny, exactly that. It is very circular in terms of how it works. And you look at AI maturity. For some organizations are way further ahead in their adoption. And I would say a lot of the cloud native, cloud born organizations. You can, for quite a few here in Asia, amazingly.
Yeah.
We all know and love. They're doing amazing things in that space and are really pioneering. But then are some organizations like in healthcare, for instance, and government that are slightly behind kind of the maturity because they have more regulation and concern to kind of worry about. So the scales are kind of like slightly imbalanced between different industries. But all industries are getting more and more mature.
Yeah.
The problem is the advancements that are happening in AI are happening so fast. It's an ever-effacing chase and catch up.
Yeah.
So that divide is actually getting bigger in some ways.
And like you mentioned, in some industries, it's kind of sensitive and you want to use AI at a certain scale. But, the kind of investments that are going in for the governance, AI governance, right, to build the guardrails that are necessary, we see those catching up as well, which means that, once you have that assurance, then you can bring this at a bigger scale to enterprises or the organizations in these more sensitive areas. So, eventually, I guess, like when you said, once we transit from I would call the pioneering stage to a more mature stage, then I guess, AI demands will be there across every sector.
I think we're very much in the phase of still figuring lots of this out. Okay. We've not yet had a huge AI cyber attack, fueled cyber attack. There are many that are going on in terms of small scale, but we've never really seen AI go wrong at a global nation state level. We will at some point.
Yes, I suppose, yes.
Inevitably it will happen.
Yeah.
But our role in the security space of it is to be as close to catching up to that as quickly as possible to mitigate the impact that when it does actually happen.
Yes.
But that's an arms race effectively between the good guys and the bad guys.
Yes, exactly.
And I would love to say that the good guys and the bad guys are also at scale.
Yes.
Maybe not.
We were just we had a podcast yesterday and they were talking about quantum computing.
Yeah.
It's not about you want to embrace quantum computing. It's about threat actors leveraging quantum computing and you now coming up with your own devices to basically mitigate that. You are now going to leverage quantum computing as well to beat the guys who are using quantum computing against you.
I mean, the latest things. Remember this: the good guys and the bad guys. Sounds like a bit like Marvel, doesn't it? Really, from an Avengers kind of movie side of things. They've got access to the same tools and compute and resources that we have, but without the guardrails and governance and assurances required to use it responsibly. Okay, so we need to be very cognizant of how that is going to play out in the future, and try and be as close to it as possible.
Oh, yep. And so I guess a lot of challenges, a lot of opportunities, and you guys are doing a great job. And like you said, 90 years.
We're celebrating in Singapore our 60th birthday this year, which is I think 60 or 65th, I'm not quite sure, which will be amazing. So a big celebration happening for that later in the year.
Okay.
And
do you invite us?
You'll be, of course, invited.
I've just got myself self-invited.
You're right. You'll be very welcome. I'll get your guest list personally.
Okay. Thank you, Andrew. Thank you for
welcome.
joining us today.